What's up, Pokey fam? So guys, I forgot to do a day in the business this week. Um, so I'm just gonna do like a weekend in this business, a week in this business. I'm coming to you live from me mum's car. Get out in the car, vroom vroom. I don't think that's how the meme goes, or if people even remember that anymore. Um, but it's late. I just got back. I'm trying to, I don't want to say remodeling the store because that makes it sound like I'm really going to do something cool in there. But no, I'm just going to I'm doing my transfer processing into the arcade ready because my VR headsets will be here someday soon. But I also want to use these like weekend, or not weekend, but like a day in the business kind of deals to give you updates on my life as well. Maybe I should do like a day in my life. I don't know. But for right now, it's going to be, the updates are going to be here. So on Friday, it's kind of a slow day. I grossed about $40, so better than my last Friday where I think I did 3. Just like one pack, right? So I grossed about $40. A lot of people came in, but they all didn't spend money. Like, I really hate, like, I'll get a full family coming, I'm like, ooh, cha-ching, cha-ching, and then they're like, we're just looking, I told them they could come in here and look, but we're not buying anything. I'm like, get your broke ass out of here. I want none of you brokies in here. No, I was kidding. They were like, oh, yeah, they're going to save up and come in and buy, which is, like, I really enjoy that. It's, like, very wholesome. But yeah, that happened, so I was a little disappointed. But then, guys, on Saturday, it started off super slow. I had someone call me like, "Are your store gonna be open?" And they like called me like literally like 10 minutes before I was opening. And I'm like, "Yeah, we open at 12 on Saturdays." And they're like, "Oh, cool." And they didn't come until like 2 or whatever. But so they came in and they actually bought an $80 item, right? So that's a good start. It's actually like one of the lower profit margin items I have, but it's a big number. So it's like, it's a dollar amount, but I actually make less than 50% on this item. So my gross is going to be higher, but not actually, my net won't be as good. But I just speak in gross because some things, I believe it or not, it sounds weird, but I have literally like I have no cost in. So like sometimes it gets really warped. So I just try to stay about that 50% mark to keep it right. But so $80, right? Well, then there was a party going on at the event center next door. Well, I mean, it's not an event center; it's like an event room. I don't live in a big town, so it's not like something crazy like the Megaplex. Nope, it's just like a really nice room that you rent. I had my daughter's birthday party there. And at first I was like, this is awful, because I'm not like throwing anyone under the bus, but like there were grown men outside my store smoking and cussing up a storm, and like no one was coming in at that point. So like I didn't raise heck about it. I told the lady who ran the event, and like I said, I'm not complaining for you to do something, I'm just letting you know, because I was like concerned, but it ended up being really good, so it doesn't matter. But I was really like, I was gonna go out and be like, guys, come on. Like, I don't even think in our state, I think in Kansas, believe it or not, I think you gotta be like 15 feet from the entrance of a store to legally smoke. So I mean, of course they're breaking the law by being a foot from my damn door, like whatever. I mean, they were nice people. I a lot of times when we have conflicts in life, we tend to like kind of villainize the other person. Like, these were nice people. They were outside their event, so they thought, oh, we'll smoke. But and it was, I mean, I could smell it in my store. It just wasn't a good thing. But like I said, I kind of ended up lucking out because no kids came in. Well, then when that party was wrapping up, so later on in the day, right, I closed at 5:30 on Saturday. So about like 4, all of a sudden the kids from that party are outside playing. So they finally see my store and they start coming in. And so I ended up doing, 5 and 5. So I ended up doing another $50 on top of the 80, right? So that gross is about 130. So that's like 170 for the weekend, right? So, okay, well, that's really good. That kicks the buck out of last week, right? Well, today I was, like I said, in there prepping the store. I had the whole family with me. and a uh, and a sorry, I heard a weird noise. I thought it was a ghost. And an RV pulls up, right? Colorado tax, and I'm like, what the heck? And the guy's like creeping, looking in, like almost like, what is this? I'm like, and the power was out was the funny thing, right? So it wasn't like I had all the lights off to hide. Like we were in there with the lights on. We didn't have the open sign on. But like he was just like, are you guys open? I'm like, well, the power's out, which was like really cringing me because I should be like, yeah, come on in. We're not open, but come on in, right? So I just told them that. They're like, oh yeah, she wants to stop. So actually, the girl who came in and bought some packs from the birthday party, and I don't know actually if I just actually found out they weren't with the birthday party. They were just walking downtown, and they happened to come in. So it's kind of a funny deal. But regardless, right? Someone else did come in from the birthday party. Nice little girl and her mother, and this girl was super into Pokemon, probably like 5, 6, 7 years old, and was just like spilling all the deets on how her parents don't get Pokemon, and that upsets her, right? But no, and they ended up spending around $10, so that was nice. But I think I made a customer for life at least. But regardless, so this girl comes back in, and there's actually a cool little deal. They still live up in the Colorado area, but they bought a house here on a tax sale when houses were still cheap in my area. And they're like fixing it up. They plan to move here in 5 years or so. I'm sure by that time, their daughter won't be a kid. She'll probably be graduated because I bet she was around 13 or so. But she comes in, drops a 50 bomb, buys an ETB and a little mini portfolio. It was like super excited. Like I was so glad. I'd already given her a poster. I gave her a little thank you card from my distributor. They, Pokemon will send out things. It's like a Pokemon card with thank you on it. It's like a Hoopa. It's really not, but I give it to people who are repeat customers pretty much. And then her, well, I don't think it was her dad. I'm guessing it was like her mom's boyfriend. Also spent some money. So he ended up spending also $10, right? And on the items he bought were all, like I said, no cost in them. So that's why I say like that 50%, because I probably made a little less than 50% on that ETB, because I think I sold it for 45 and I got it for 20 something. Oh no, I guess I would have made, I don't remember. I might have got it for 30 because I got it like after the fact, so it was a little more pricier. So all in all, guys, that was another $60, right? So with the 40 from the first day, the 130 the next day, right? It's 170, and then another 60. So we grossed about 230, right? And that doesn't sound like a lot. Like, I'm sure some of you big city Andes are like, it's nothing. How can you run a store on that? My goodness. Like I said, I'm going for my rent's $400, and that's all I'm trying to make in the store because I have an online store, and that's where I make my money. So like 230, right? That's like 115 probably net for me. So with like I think last week, I can't remember. I'll have to go back and check. I should really keep track. The first week I started doing this, put it this way, I paid my rent with just the store this month, and that's always like the thing I want. Really next I want to start paying the utilities, and really going on. That's why I'm trying to monetize my store a little bit more, because people come in and buy Pokemon cards, and that's real good, but I need people to come in and buy Pokemon cards and something else. Like the people who, not necessarily the people who already buy Pokemon cards, but like I need another group of people, and that's why I'm doing some of this arcade stuff, because I really want to monetize. Every kid walks in my store has about $3 or $4, right? And they don't want to buy one pack of Pokemon cards. Just the truth, right? So I really want to monetize that, because you get kids, if you get 10 kids walk in with $4 a piece, right? If you only have $5 items, no money gets spent in your store. $40 walks out. But if you say have a vending machine or something they can spend that, you could make $40 off those kids when you would have made $0, right? So that's kind of like the thought process, right? And I'm sure there's someone way smarter than me, way better at business than me, is like, yep, exactly. You want to have every range, right? Well, I mean, that's a known principle. Like, you want to have every range of product. You don't want to have just cheap. You don't want to have just expensive. Like, if someone has money, you want to be able to have them spend their money. If people don't have money, you still want them to be able to spend their money because you got cheap products. So guys, yeah, a gross of 230 is exactly what we're shooting for. If we gross 300 every single weekend, The business would be exactly where it needed to be. That would be, over and beyond. That would be, my rent, utilities, and some money just from the store. And so, with that, I just want to keep in mind, like, I run an online store, I sell on eBay, I make money off of that. And so, like, everything I do in the store is to pay my cost of having, like, my eBay store, if that makes sense, like the room for my eBay store. But guys, like, my city is really, like, it's starting to, I don't want to say boom because that makes it sound like it's like crazy growing, but it's really starting to go up. It's very positive outlook. Housing prices are going up, new people are moving in. And so I'm just really excited for what's in store, because what's crazy is, it's really easy to look at a store and go, I'm only ever going to make, like right now, like, I'm only ever going to make my $2-3 grand that I make running this store, right? Running my eBay or whatever. But think about it, you could always have something. You could create a tourist destination. There's so many things you could actually do. Like, if you have a positive mindset and willing to put in the work, that maybe one day you make $100,000 a year. Maybe there's one day you make $1 million a year. I mean, there's a steakhouse, actually, believe it or not, in the little town in my county, just 15 miles down the road, called Big Ed Steakhouse. And one time that was $1 million business. I mean, it's probably came down a little bit just because changed hands and ownership. But like, when original Big Ed owned it, it was a pop and deal. It would roll. I think when we looked at the books one time, because my grandfather was approached to buy it. Or no, he wasn't approached to buy it, but someone else was approached to buy it. They came to my granddad, right? They were rolling in like 15 grand a month. And I know for like probably like big city business, that's maybe not a whole lot for a restaurant, but you're talking like in Bird City, Kansas, population like 500 people. You're talking a building that is probably at that time was maybe worth like 30 grand, and you're making sorry, that 15,000 doesn't add up. I don't know why I said 15,000. It was doing $150,000 a month. $150,000. I said 15 because that's what came to mind, because that sounded reasonable, but it's $150,000 a month. So it was grossing, I think, was the gross numbers, right? Was like 1.5 million. And then the net was, like in food, generally 50% is also go-to. So I guess it wasn't, I think it was about $1 million, right? I've really like destroyed my credibility, but I'm telling you that's what it was. But with that being said, so like, I'm just really excited for the future, because right now I really think like VR arcades, like, I mean, old school arcades are still popular. They're not what they used to be. You're not going to be rich off of them. I know I've met people that are like, yeah, I made money off arcades, believe it or not. Like, that's why I'm rich today. And you're like, what? Like, those aren't things anymore. You just like play video games in your house. Like, you know what I'm saying? But I really think VR is that stage of, it's something that's very popular. People are very interested in it, but your mom and dad you're not gonna have it in your house. You know what I'm saying? Like, people aren't, I mean, anyone can probably buy it, but at the same time, back in the day, you could have bought, you could have bought a Pong console. I don't know, it was Atari, but people didn't. They went to the arcade. And that's what I'm hoping. I want people to have kind of an escape, and that VR is an escape. You can do it at home, but it won't be as fun, but I'm also going to do traveling with it. So like, I will come to a birthday party or event or something like that. And so that will be cool. I hope it works out. It never works out how you want it to, but hopefully it works out somehow. So guys, that was a weekend in the business. Kind of had an extra day. And that's why, like, honestly, like, some of those guys are like, be open every single day. Be open as much as you can, because you never know when you're going to have someone, even though Monday might be the worst day of every day of the world, whatever. That didn't make sense, but you know what I'm saying? Mondays are awful, right? For business, for everything. But someone can come in and spend money on a Monday, on any given Monday, right? It's like any given Sunday, but it's any given Monday for the small business owner. So guys, I'm not going to ramble this video. I promise I'm done. See you guys. I'm super excited. I love you. Bye. Peace.